There's no city quite like Singapore, bold, fast, and full of contrast. Steel and glass rise over temples, rainforest paths lead to rooftop bars. It's a place where every detail feels intentional, and every moment moves with purpose. If you've only got one day, don't worry, that's all it takes to fall for this city. Stick with us, like, subscribe, and let's make every hour count. Best time to visit Singapore. Singapore stays hot and humid year-round, with temperatures averaging between 80 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 27 to 32 degrees Celsius. You won't need to plan around winter coats, but lightweight clothes, sun protection, and an umbrella are essential any time of year. The rainy season typically runs from November through January, with afternoon downpours and occasional storms. These months also bring holiday travelers and higher hotel rates, especially around Christmas and the Chinese New Year. For the most comfortable weather, plan your visit between February and April. Rainfall drops, skies are clearer, and it's a great time to explore outdoor sites like gardens by the bay or the Marina waterfront. From June to August, expect intense heat and heavier crowds, especially as the city gears up for the Singapore Grand Prix in September. The atmosphere is electric, but it's not the quietest time to explore. For fewer crowds and better deals, consider the shoulder months like late April or October, when the city moves at a slightly slower pace, but all major attractions are still in full swing. Airport tips. Efficient and easy to navigate. If you have time, the Jewel Complex connected to Terminal 1 features the world's tallest indoor waterfall and a lush indoor forest worth a quick visit. The most efficient option for getting into the city is the MRT. Trains depart regularly from Changi Airport Station, and the ride to the city center takes around 30 minutes. A standard one-way ticket costs about $2. If you plan to use public transport more throughout the day, you can pick up a Singapore tourist pass at the airport for around $16, which gives unlimited MRT and bus rides for 24 hours. Taxis are available at all terminals if you're carrying luggage or arriving late at night. The drive to central Singapore takes about 20 to 30 minutes and typically costs between $20 and $30 depending on traffic and time of day. Ride-hailing apps like Grab are also widely used and often priced similarly. Whether you arrive early in the morning or just before sunset, the journey from the airport is simple and sets the tone for a day that runs like clockwork. Where to stay in Singapore? In a city that moves as efficiently as Singapore, the right location puts everything within reach. Whether you're waking up to a skyline view or slipping into a quiet boutique hotel, where you stay can shape how your day unfolds. For those seeking landmark experience, Marina Bay Sands offers more than just luxury, it's part of the city's identity. With its famous rooftop infinity pool and panoramic views, rooms here start around $670 per night and place you right at the heart of Singapore's most iconic attractions. If you're aiming for comfort without the splurge, Hotel Traveltine on Beach Road is a smart mid-range choice. Clean rooms, reliable service, and quick MRT access make it a dependable base, with rates between $120 and $190 per night. And for travelers who want value without sacrificing locations, the Quai Hotel in Boat Quai delivers. It's just a short walk from Clark Quai and the riverfront, with rooms typically ranging from $100 to $150. Each of these stays keeps you close to what matters, letting your one-day itinerary run smoothly from morning till night. How to get around Singapore. Getting around Singapore is fast, simple, and surprisingly intuitive, even if it's your first time here. The city's MRT system connects all major sites with clean, air-conditioned trains that run efficiently throughout the day. If you're planning to use public transport more than once, the Singapore Tourist Pass is worth considering. For about $16, it gives you unlimited travel on buses and MRT trains for 24 hours. Most stations are clearly marked in English, and connections are easy to make, especially when visiting places like Marina Bay, Chinatown, or Gardens by the Bay. Trains run from early morning until just before midnight, and you'll rarely wait more than 5 minutes. If you prefer the convenience of door-to-door travel, grab a Singapore's go-to ride-hailing app. It's widely available, and fares within the city center typically range from $8 to $15 depending on distance and time of day. And while taxis are reliable, they cost a bit more, especially during peak hours or late at night. Expect to pay around $20 to $30 from the airport to the city center. For a one-day visit, combining MRT for speed and Grab for comfort makes it easy to move across the city without losing time or momentum. One perfect day in Singapore: sky gardens, street food, and city lights. Morning: quick breakfast at Gardens by the Bay. If you're starting early, don't waste your time venturing across the city for breakfast. Just outside the entrance to Gardens by the Bay, you'll find a Starbucks where you can quickly grab a coffee and something light. Perfect fuel before diving into one of the most iconic sites in Singapore. Expect to spend around 8 to 10 USD for a drink and pastry, and you'll be right at the gates the moment the park opens. Gardens by the Bay, Super Tree Grove Walk. Begin your visit by wandering through Super Tree Grove, a futuristic landscape of towering vertical gardens, each wrapped in thousands of exotic plants and glowing solar panels. These structures may look like something from a sci-fi film, but they're very real, a symbol of Singapore's forward-thinking design. Walking among the super trees in the early morning is ideal. The air is cooler, the crowds are thinner, and the light creates perfect shadows across the walkways. No ticket is required to stroll through the grounds, and the sheer scale of the grove sets the tone for the day ahead. Cloud Forest Conservatory. Next, step inside the Cloud Forest, one of Singapore's most breathtaking indoor attractions. The moment you enter, a 115-foot waterfall roars beside a mist-covered mountain draped in greenery. Walkways spiral around the central structure, taking you through a suspended world of ferns, orchids, and rare tropical plants. The conservatory maintains a steady temperature of around 73 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit, 23 to 25 degrees Celsius, with high humidity to support its collection of over 60,000 plants from around the globe. Along the way, you'll encounter interactive exhibits like Crystal Mountain and the Cavern, designed to educate visitors about rainforest ecosystems and climate science. Admission to the Cloud Forest is part of a combo ticket that also includes the Flower Dome. The combined ticket costs 34 USD per person. Plan to spend at least 90 minutes here, though plant lovers might linger longer. Insider tip: if you're hoping for photos in front of the waterfall without the crowd, try to arrive as close to opening time as possible. The difference in crowd levels by mid-morning is dramatic. Flower Dome. Just next door, the Flower Dome is a striking contrast. This cooled conservatory houses arid and temperate plants from all over the world, arranged in rotating seasonal displays. Walk past olive groves, cactus gardens, and floral art installations, all under a vast glass canopy. Themed zones like the Mediterranean Garden and Sun Pavilion offer quieter corners to explore, and occasional free mini-tours provide extra context if you happen to catch one. Plan to spend about 60 to 90 minutes here, especially if you enjoy taking your time with the changing floral displays, all included in your combo ticket with the Cloud Forest. Late morning, Super Tree Observatory or OCBC Skyway. After exploring the Cloud Forest and Flower Dome, head back outside to experience the super trees from a completely different angle, either by ascending to the Super Tree Observatory or walking the elevated OCBC Skyway that connects them. The Super Tree Observatory takes you to the top of the tallest super tree, offering sweeping panoramic views across the Marina Bay skyline, the gardens below, and even the distant outlines of ships waiting off Singapore's southern coast. The platform also includes a small indoor space and a rooftop deck. Entry costs around 10 USD and includes access via a dedicated elevator. If you prefer a more immersive, up-close experience, the OCBC Skyway is a 22-meter-high aerial walkway that weaves between the super trees. It's not as high, but it offers dramatic views between the structures themselves, a favorite for photos and a more open-air feel. This also costs about 10 USD and can be enjoyed at your own pace. Both options are excellent, and both are about slowing down and seeing the gardens from above, with the morning sun casting shadows over the futuristic treetops. Insider tip: the observatory offers better skyline views, but the Skyway is often quicker to access with shorter queues, especially helpful if you're on a tight schedule. Afternoon, Chinatown temples and markets. Hop on the MRT and head to Chinatown, one of Singapore's most colorful and layered neighborhoods. From towering temples to busy street stalls, it's a place where centuries of heritage sit right alongside sleek cafes and boutique stores. Start your walk to the Sri Mariamman Temple, Singapore's oldest Hindu temple known for its vivid, multi-tiered facade and detailed sculptures. Just a short walk away is the Buddha Tooth Relic Temple, a striking red and gold structure that blends Tang Dynasty architecture with quiet spiritual reverence. Step inside for a glimpse of its sacred relics and rooftop garden. For a touch of local Chinese heritage, the Tianhokkeng Temple, one of the oldest Hokkien temples in the country, adds yet another layer to the district's history. Each temple is free to enter, though donations are welcome. Plan to spend around 60 to 90 minutes exploring the area at a relaxed pace, with plenty of time for photos, small shops, or a cold drink in between. Lunch in Chinatown. By now, it's time to refuel, and Chinatown delivers. For something casual and truly local, head to Maxwell Food Center, where stalls serve up Singaporean staples like Hainanese chicken rice, char kway teow, and laksa. A satisfying lunch here usually runs between 4 and 7 USD. If you're in the mood for something more refined, walk over to Club Street for a table at Merci Marcel, a leafy, French-inspired cafe known for its relaxed vibe and beautifully plated dishes. Expect to spend around 22 to 30 USD for a sit-down meal with drinks. Insider tip: if you're visiting during lunch rush, grab a table at Merci Marcel as early as possible. This spot fills up fast, especially on weekends. Clark Quay and Riverside Walk. After lunch, head toward Clark Quay for a slower-paced afternoon. This riverside district is known for its colorful colonial-era buildings, restaurants, and relaxed waterfront path. It's the kind of place where you can take a break without losing momentum. Whether that's an iced coffee by the water or a short cruise down the Singapore River, you can also walk past the former Old Hill Street Police Station. Now a vibrant landmark known for its rainbow-colored windows, it's one of the city's most Instagrammed facades and a quick stop for a photo if you're passing by. Plan to spend about 45 minutes in the Clark Quay area, including time to rest or grab a drink before continuing toward Marina Bay. Insider tip: river cruises depart regularly from Clark Quay and are a great option if your feet need a break. The full ride takes about 40 minutes and costs around 19 USD. Late afternoon, Merlion Park. From Clark Quay, make your way to Merlion Park, home to Singapore's most photographed statue. The half-lion, half-fish figure sits at the edge of Marina Bay, overlooking the skyline with a steady stream of water arcing from its mouth. It's a simple stop, but one that feels essential. Whether you're here for a quick photo or a quiet moment by the water, the view across the bay with Marina Bay Sands rising in the distance is one of the best in the city. The area is free to visit and open around the clock, but late afternoon is a sweet spot when the sun starts to dip and the crowds thin just slightly. Marina Bay Street Circuit, F1 photo stop. Just beyond the Merlion, you'll find yourself walking through a stretch of road that turns electric every September, the Formula One Singapore Grand Prix route. While there's no race today, the outlines are still visible year-round. Curbs painted red and white, overhead bridges, and grandstand scaffolding left in place. It's not an attraction tour, but it's one worth pausing for, especially if you're a motorsport fan or simply want to snap a photo at turn one of the world's most iconic night races. Walk across the Helix Bridge. Next, cross the Helix Bridge, a stunning pedestrian bridge that spirals across Marina Bay like a double helix strand of DNA. It's one of the most unique structures in Singapore, especially as daylight begins to fade and the city light starts to reflect off the water. The bridge connects you directly to Marina Bay Sands and the Art Science Museum area, setting you up perfectly for sunset views from the Sky Park or rooftop bar next. As you step off the Helix Bridge, the skyline opens up ahead of you, and just beyond it, the perfect place to watch the day give way to night. Insider tip: as you reach the center of the bridge, pause at one of the viewing pods for a near-perfect shot of the bay, the Art Science Museum, and the towers behind you, especially if the sky's starting to turn gold. Early evening, sunset at Marina Bay Sands, Sky Park Observation Deck, or C'est la vie. As the sun starts to dip behind the skyline, there's no better place to be than the rooftop of Marina Bay Sands. After crossing the Helix Bridge, head up to the Sky Park Observation Deck, one of the most iconic viewing platforms in Asia. From the 57th floor, you'll get a sweeping, unobstructed view of the gardens by the bay, the Super Tree Grove, the harbor, and the entire downtown skyline coming to life in golden light. If you arrive during peak hours, between 5 and 10 p.m., admission costs about 29 USD per person. Outside of those hours, it's a bit less at 26 USD. Expect to spend around 30 to 45 minutes here, especially if you want to time it with the glow of sunset and the first sparkle of evening lights. For a different kind of rooftop experience, head to C'est La Vie, the club lounge and rooftop bar just next door. Entry costs around $28 USD and includes a drink with panoramic access. It's a more social, upbeat atmosphere with music, cocktails, and the same incredible view, just with a different energy. If you're after quiet skyline photos, the Sky Park deck offers fewer obstructions. If you're ending the day with a drink and city lights, C'est La Vie is the better call, especially if you arrive just before sunset. Evening, dinner at Marina Bay Sands or the Clifford Pier. After taking in the sunset, it's time to slow down for a well-earned dinner. If you want to stay close, head to Poutine at Marina Bay Sands, a Michelin-starred restaurant serving up refined Fujian cuisine. Dishes like the braised pig intestine, the 100-second stewed yellow croaker, and the signature Lormet offer a true taste of regional flavors. Dinner here typically costs between $22 and $30 USD per person, depending on what you order. If you're looking for something a little more atmospheric, take a short walk along the bay to the Clifford Pier at the Fullerton Bay Hotel. Set inside a beautifully restored colonial-era pier, this elegant waterfront restaurant blends Singaporean heritage dishes with a modern twist. Dining here usually ranges between $30 and $50 USD, offering both a historic setting and sweeping views across Marina Bay. Insider tip: reservations are highly recommended for both spots, especially if you want a table with a view around showtime. Garden Rhapsody Light Show. Once dinner wraps up, head back toward the Gardens by the Bay for the Garden Rhapsody, a nightly music and light show at the Super Tree Grove. Twice every evening, the Super Trees come alive with a synchronized performance of lights and orchestral music, a surreal moment where technology and nature blend seamlessly. The show is free and lasts about 15 minutes. It's one of the most atmospheric ways to experience the Super Trees after dark, and the timing lines up perfectly after dinner. Insider tip: arrive at least 10 minutes early to grab a spot directly under the super trees. Lying flat on the grass offers the most immersive view as the lights dance above you. Spectra Light and Water Show. If you have a little more energy left, cap off your night at the Marina Bay Sands Promenade with Spectra, a free outdoor show that combines dancing fountains, colorful projections, and a dramatic soundtrack. The show runs several times nightly and lasts about 15 minutes. It's a fitting theatrical finale to a day that's already blended art, technology, and nature in perfect balance. As the last light fades across the bay and the skyline glows in the background, you'll understand why a single day in Singapore can still feel like an entire journey. As the last lights ripple across Marina Bay and the city begins to slow, you'll leave Singapore with more than just memories. You'll carry the feeling of a place that moves forward without forgetting where it came from. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. There's a whole world out there waiting, and we can't wait to show it to you. Thanks for traveling with us, and until next time, safe travels!